the city.
What's up, St. Louis City fans? Today is April 16th. It is a Sunday right after a great win at home last night. I feel kind of bad inside because of how much beer I had last night at the game, but I wouldn't have had so much if there wasn't a storm before the storm. Usually it's calm before the storm. Sorry, I forgot to introduce my cohorts here. This is Ian and Chris. How y'all feeling?
Stormy.
Yeah, it was a crazy night. What do we have, a 2-hour delay before the game due to some tornado warnings here in St. Louis?
I was drinking in a construction site prior to the game going down, and let me tell you, man, St. Louis had nothing better to do than just get wasted right before that went down. And then, despite the 2-hour delay, everybody still showed up.
And drank more.
And was passionate, and everybody was standing. It was good to see. You know what I mean? Like, St. Louis didn't lose any fire after 2 hours of a delay.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Go ahead.
It was funny because I feel like the Cincinnati team kind of seemed like they were expecting a cancellation there because it sure looked like there was going to be a tornado. I'm not going to lie to you, but here in St. Louis, that's front porch weather. That's sundress weather.
Sundress weather.
Can you do it in a tornado in St. Louis? That's the new. Can you do it on a rainy night in Stoke?
I'll tell you who couldn't do it. Matt Miazga.
Yeah,
tornado
among many others.
Tornado outside outside the stadium, and then he was getting put in the spin cycle.
Is it a blender
on the field?
I don't think there was a single St. Louis City fan downtown last night that actually thought the game was getting canceled. I think everybody was just like,
normal stuff.
Yeah. It's a normal Saturday night in April.
It was, I mean, the weather was horrible, and then there was, like, other stuff going on. Like, after the game started, Apple TV, I was trying to watch it at home with my family, and, like, Apple TV was completely down, so you couldn't watch it at all, and I'm, like, getting updates on my phone. I had to, like, go back and watch the first, like, 20-odd minutes or something because we finally got it up, but I was just getting updates on my phone, and I saw Stroud scored in the 5th minute. I'm like, dude, we got to get this game on.
Yeah.
I was pissed, but
I would be too.
Yeah,
I mean, you missed the first 2 goals then. That's terrible.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Damn.
No, it's
Apple TV. Get it together.
Yeah, seriously. If you're gonna buy exclusive rights to the MLS, you gotta pull some weight, man.
Yeah. You guys got to do better on a lot of fronts.
Yeah, but
let's get into the game.
What a good game, though. Oh my gosh, did we
Great
need
game.
this?
Dude, we went back to the 4-4-2.
I knew it.
How'd you feel?
Reliable with an reliable lineup. It was our opening day lineup, wasn't it?
No, we played 4-2-3-1 on the opening day.
Oh, but same. No, there's no Ostrak in this one. That's what was different.
Mm-hmm. But we still saw. We didn't see. We did see Vasilev start, which Blom ended up having to come in for him on the opening day because of an early injury, like he broke his nose.
I love Indiana.
But we saw...
he had a good game, even though he didn't do, you don't see it, you know what I mean? But he was just putting in his shift.
Those are my favorite kinds of games.
Yep.
Dude, he was the one that had to... Lewin was obviously given the creative license this game as one of the 2 midfielders, so he had to hold back. And for a right winger to end up coming into that role and playing as soundly as he did, that was pretty impressive.
You consider Indiana right winger?
He was a right winger.
At Villa. But I think that they reformed him in the MLS. They've turned him into something else now.
Yeah,
he's
but it just shows that technically he's there.
Yeah,
he can perform wherever he needs to. That's the kind of multi-role utility player that you like to have on the team.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the FOTMob ratings on everybody on the City team. Everybody was +7
in the green.
Yeah,
in the green.
Nelson was the lowest with just a straight 7. So
and I thought he had a great game.
Dude, he's our most tenured player. He's played the most minutes out of anyone in the team.
Has he?
Nelson, yeah.
In the MLS or
Mhm.
Okay. I would have thought Parker, but
Nope. Because Parker had to sit out that one week. We had Hebert Hebert Bartlett start. Yeah. But Jonah also during the midweek podcast correctly predicted a Alm and Stroud right and left side. And that looked really good.
He was spot on because we need to go back to basics of pressing. I feel like we kind of got lost in our own, we're focusing on the other team. We're focused on, Seattle, and, we got to play this 5 in the back, wing back, type style. And I'm like, we got to go back to what worked, you know? And that we did it, and Stroud was a press god. Alm had a monstrous game. I think he's my man of the match, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, they both played incredibly. speaking of what went well, started the game off, second minute, Alm wins a free kick on the right-hand side, and Leuven takes it. He looked really good on dead balls today, and plays it into the box near the penalty area. And I guess it hits Klaus because they give him an assist for this.
I was surprised to see he got the
It
assist.
was not intentional. It just kind of hits off a few people and then hits Klaus and then is bouncing towards Stroud. And this is what Mickey would consider an oh shit ball because you just go, I got to hit this.
Oh, shit. He just rips it.
Yeah,
bottom
dude.
corner.
It got a little bit of a deflection,
Don't
but
care.
I would say it's mostly on Stroud. He
Yeah.
he had a great.
What a finish.
He caught it clean,
Yeah.
nice and clean.
For it to still have that much pace on it after after it hit a player, he connected really well with that.
We were both right behind the goal, and I was just shocked. I showed up expecting the team to be a little more fired up because not only did the whole stadium wait 2 hours to get in and watch this game, but the team was probably in there, stewing, getting ready to go.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I was ready for it, but I was not expecting a goal in the third. It was the third minute?
It was the third minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was kind of shook. It was great.
It was so necessary versus the Cincinnati team because they were talking about in that pregame how they're just a low block. They'll sit back. We saw what happened with Minnesota, how if you don't score early, you end up in trouble and you're on the back foot trying to play catch up the rest of the game. You give up some dumb penalty. But that didn't happen this time. We came out, punched him in the mouth, and let's get after it. And that was what we want to see.
Yeah, with the fire.
And honestly, if you haven't listened to our last podcast, I think that whole podcast we were pretty spot on talking about this game because we discussed how we got to come out and get an early goal so that they don't get to play the way that they wanted to play. So, great start to the game. Great atmosphere. Oh, my God.
They were rattled.
Yeah, it was this was the performance I wanted against Seattle, but I think that in the pregame to the Seattle, I was saying that after our first loss, we need to bounce back really hard. But I don't think that Minnesota game felt like as much of a devastating loss as getting blown out 3-0 at Seattle, where the guys have to come out and prove their worth in the next game and bounce back that hard.
I feel like that Minnesota game, I'm not going to lie, I feel like the fans were a little complacent. It almost felt like we expected a win there. But last night felt more just absolute chaos.
It had tornado energy. That's what it was.
I think it was 2 hours of pregame drinking and then showing up and being absolutely ape shit.
Yeah, it was a really chippy game and a chippy crowd.
The clip we have of you, Milo, on
Twitter.
on TV, go check out our Twitter.
Yeah.
Beating on my chest.
It's the passion.
Yes.
It's the passion. Oh, man. So, not too much. You didn't have to wait too much longer for our second opportunity because we were all still kind of riding high, doing the chants from that first goal. And then also, what is Stroud's celebration? Do you guys know what he's doing?
I have no idea.
I need to figure out. Maybe we need to ask him in the post game or something.
Yeah. We'll see if we can get someone into the press box.
Yeah,
Ask
I
him
don't
what
know.
he's doing.
I don't know what he's doing. It's I want to say it's this.
Is
I don't
he
know.
Albanian?
Oh, I think he might be. So
Might
that
be
would
the
that would make
Albanian
sense.
Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, in the what was that? The 10th minute, he had another opportunity to really bury it, and
It was the Leuven opportunity, Leuven wins it in our back third.
Yeah.
Plays it out to Nervinsky, who plays a beautiful switched ball, all the way across field to Alm, who's just sprinting. Alm lays the ball off to Stroud, who's getting after. He's sprinting hard, putting in his work rate. And he does it. He has a nice job of taking one cut and beating his man right inside the box. But then he just passes straight to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, you would really like to see him do better with that one.
After that finish he had for the goal, you'd think he would slot that home.
Yeah. It was on his weak foot, but yeah, that's kind of a theme that we're seeing with this team is that we don't necessarily put away the easy ones.
I was about to say we're looking. We got deep into XG.
Yeah.
This prior to our episode today. Because
which is expected goals for anybody that doesn't know what XG is.
And so I was like, how does Cincinnati have a higher XG than us throughout this whole game, even though we cooked them 5-1? That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But then if you start going through it chance by chance, it makes more sense. On that Stroud chance in the 9th minute, he had 0.17, which is pretty high for
that's
XG.
that's a good opportunity
for open play. Yeah.
But that just means like 17% of the time you're expected to see a goal. So maybe we shouldn't expect him to bury it just because it's on his left foot and, it
just looked so open.
It did look really open. It was... You'd like to see him put it away, but he already put away a full volley after, the ball's just bouncing to him. So he can't give him too much stick.
And
yeah.
Ian mentioned that Klaus's XG, he's outperforming his XG. Crazy
Yeah.
Because I think it's funny because I bet Klaus, after missing all these like just normal sitting chances, he's going to score like a scorpion or something next game.
Yeah.
The crowd's just going to lose it. That'll be how he ends his drought.
Yeah.
Or it'll just bounce off of him on accident.
Yeah.
Like
somebody will
assist.
pass it to him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
After Stroud got that chance, it kind of goes back and forth for like a couple minutes, and then you see Barreal, their left wing back, because they were playing a 5 at the back. He has it on the touchline, and he just plays a ball like all the way over our entire defense to Santos, and it ends up like basically bouncing almost in line with the penalty spot, but further out towards the left-hand side, and Santos just tries to like on his left foot like just lob Berkey one time. And
did it even bounce?
It didn't bounce.
I think he caught it. It was like a
he
Robin
caught
Van
it midair.
Persie-esque type like hit, and I was like, "Oh damn!" Like,
audacious.
If they tie that up there, that
It's
feels like a completely different game.
deflated.
You score a worldly goal like that, you're silencing the whole
The
stadium.
ball was played from the beyond the half line.
Oh, dude, it was so far away.
And it was on a dime, and he didn't miss by much.
An audacious attempt.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted him to score that. I'm not going to lie. It would have been a crazy goal.
It would have silenced.
You wanted to see him score that, tie it up 1-1.
I had faith in the team.
I just like seeing good goals,
There's something about a good goal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that we saw a lot throughout the game was Gio getting fouled, and he is kind of...
He goes down a little easy.
He does go down a little easy, but it plays well.
It's tactical, though.
We want to give Leuven the ball in like those dead ball situations, and he gets a foul like right outside of the top left of the box, which is exactly where Leuven you would think would want it, because he's got that right foot. You want to just like whip it into that near post.
We had two chances like that. I think this one, you're talking about the one in the 24th.
Yeah, and that's like that was the most dangerous free kick I've seen him take all year, in my opinion.
Like, but he hits the side net.
Yeah, just barely misses.
The supporters section kind of thought it was in for a second.
Well, that's the classic MLS, like the announcers
The supporters
saying,
section.
"Oh,
the stadium. Whoever's running the stadium thought that was in because the
they
flares
changed
went
the
off.
lights and
It's
stuff."
true.
Yeah.
The flares started going off.
Except only one of them. It's like they realized halfway through
Pressing all the buttons,
cancel.
the nuke buttons.
Abort,
Turn them
abort.
off.
So I think that Gio's flopping is hilarious because I think that this game at home really the home field advantage was there again. In that Minnesota game. It was like the ref was like, I hate the home field advantage. I'm not giving anything. But this game, you could like the defender would like touch Gio and the crowd would just be like,
Hey!
come on!
Just yelling at him.
Clear as day.
Yeah.
Asking for cards, and I mean, he was given.
Yeah. I think right after that chance in Wobodo, who was probably, I think, their best player, ended up getting a yellow card on like a silly foul on Gio or something. But it's kind of back and forth for a little while. I would say that we still mostly dominated, but there weren't any like really clear-cut chances for like the next 15 minutes of the game. And then in the 39th minute is where you see Nelson on the left-hand side, like just before half, just start like taking off. And this whole run is just like a weird...
So ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous because he starts the run by running directly into their defender and he just like kicks it into him. And it bounces right back to him like some FIFA stuff. And then he collects it and proceeds to just sauce Hogland, just nutmegs him.
Yeah.
And then the worst part of all of it is he's like about to like fall over when he's about to play the ball, and he just blasts it at Gio. It was a classic Leuven pass where he just kicks it so hard at his teammate that he can almost like not do something with it.
Yeah. And Gio had trouble with it. Like he was like, "Damn, why'd you play this like a million miles an hour?" And so he had space and like time, but the ball was played so heavy that his touch, there's no way he could control it and take a shot that made sense. So
he still gets his shot off. Yeah,
but it got blocked. Yeah,
and then you see Big Daddy Leuven step up for basically the same
Same spot as
similar.
Stroud.
Yeah, no. Well, same spot as Stroud, but also a similar volley to
what Klaus
Klaus's,
had,
where it just like it's just sitting up in the air for so long.
and
I felt
he
like
hits it side-footed. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like same thing. He just goes near post, and I think that their goalie, I forget his name, but he probably should be doing better there. But it's still like a great hit.
Their goalie looks like an AI generated person.
He looks like the son of the enemy in the first Avatar.
He looks like he does. He looks like the son of like a super military guy.
Yeah.
And he don't play no shit. But he looks like, in FIFA when you play for long enough in manager mode, it just starts generating
players. Yeah.
He definitely looks like a generated player.
I see that
Yeah.
for sure.
Good to see Leuven on the score sheet though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, back to that goal. What a great goal. I mean, I think he could have saved that, but he didn't. It was a clean cut.
You just don't want to see goalies getting beat near post like that.
I thought he earned. I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. I don't think the goalie had too much of a chance. The ball was hit with pace. It was.
I don't think it was that much.
It had a weird bounce, like an odd angle for the keeper to get to.
Let us know what you guys think. I think he should have saved it, but I think it's up for discussion.
We'll have to pull in our goalie
.06
expert.
xG chance on that.
Yeah,
so we're scoring goals that
we're not supposed to be
probably
scoring.
not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the nature of the stat. Like we just have quality. They'll put it away.
Yeah.
I think that it felt like we were finally scoring some of the goals that in other games, like obviously that's a low XG shot, but like in past games, he's putting that over the bar. Like
He's starting to dial it in a little. Yeah.
It felt like the whole team was
feeling
starting to
themselves.
dial in it because it was an all-around team performance. I mean, we got goals from the midfield, we got goals. Up
Dude, we got
top,
goals from
we got-
everywhere.
yeah.
Everywhere
We
except
got
for our
defenders scoring.
main goalie or goal scorer.
Yeah.
Everybody was different.
If-
There was no repeat goal scorers today.
We
so.
should have thrown. We should have thrown the goalie up front and seen if he could get one.
Get Berkey up there.
Berkey hit a bike.
That John
Berkey
Nelson
bike.
That John Nelson run was so ridiculous. I was like, as soon as he gets it at the half, I turned to Marlon and I go, "This motherfucker think he Gareth Bale." Like, because he started, you could
He's
see
tripping,
like his
yeah.
eyes light up, and he
He's
was
just
like,
like, I'm
gonna
going.
run. I'm gonna just like sprint." And
Yeah.
I was kind of making fun of him because he just blasted it right into the defender, but it worked out.
It looked
And
like a glitch.
yeah, it just
A little no clip in the simulation.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Um,
our
and
players
then-
looked possessed. So.
yeah, we did. We were exercising some demons, that's for sure.
We
And then
needed to after 2 games, no goals.
dude, yeah, that's especially for having the highest goal difference and most goals scored in the league up until that point. Like we were due for, like, as you said, there is a turn, like, being due. Like, as much as you can read into statistics and analytics, there is something to being due for one.
I'm a vibe merchant, bro.
I know.
Open the floodgates.
Screw the stats. I want to see John Nelson possessed running up the wing.
He was a possessed man.
Yes.
What
And then-
what other chance we have?
Well, in like right before halftime, 47th minute, like 45+2, you see Gio win another free kick over near the touchline, and it was on that same right-hand side. You saw Gio like dropping in a lot to help Alm, and I thought that was like a really big piece of this game. But to get back to the chance, Leuven plays in a ball that's cleared off of the dead ball, like way back, and then I believe it is Nerwinski plays it back into the box. Klaus like tries to head it on, and he kind of like loops the header a bit. Stroud goes and collects it in the corner and just like cuts back.
He
towards
beat his
our goal.
man. He had like one guy out there on the.
Mhm.
Yep.
He takes like one touch back towards our goal and just whips one in, and because it's like the 47th minute, you have Hebert up in the box, and he is totally unmarked and just like a beautiful glancing header to the far post to make it 3-0 before half.
It was a really good finish too. I mean, he was wide open, and
Yeah.
I don't know what Cincinnati's defense. They were just caught lacking. There was all St. Louis players in the box.
I think they were rattled.
They came to the wrong fucking city, man.
It's true. It's true.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
My favorite chant is "We're St. Louis City. Who are you?" Because I was feeling that last night. Like,
Who
who
is
are
Cincinnati?
you? Yeah, like what are you doing?
There was so
here?
much hype before this game about them being undefeated,
Yeah.
and like,
Screw.
get
dude.
out of here.
I think
Who
that a lot
are
of
you, dude?
yeah.
I just love pointing at these trash dudes. and like,
They were so bad.
It was definitely a bad showing by
did you
Cincy.
catch the wrong flight? Like,
They were looking like a USL team
Back
out
to
there.
the USL for sure.
Yeah.
It is kind of a cool story though that Cincinnati was a USL team
and they won the USL.
Had enough like support to become an MLS team. Like I like that
I do
ground
too.
roots story. You know,
Chris is like, I wish that's how we came about.
I do kind of wish that, but like you can't do that when you're out in St. Charles. Like, whatever.
Yeah. So we go into the half 3-0 up. That's I think about as dominating of a half as we have seen out of the boys, except for maybe that 4-0 RSL half where it was 0-0 the first half, and then we changed the formation a little bit, instantly get a goal, and just run it up on them.
Mm-hmm.
But that was great to see. And similar to the last two games, we kind of come out of the halftime, and it seems like we're on the back foot again, which is what happened in both the Seattle game. Like, we didn't do anything in the second half in the Seattle game. And in the Minnesota game, we seemed completely out of ideas as soon as we came out of the huddle in the locker room.
I was never worried though.
No.
Like,
Yeah, because it was
throughout
3-0.
that game, I was like, we're up.
I kind of understand it. It's kind of hard to come out up
with that same
big.
fire.
Yeah, and it's a much later game. Not that really is an
It
was
was late.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Halftime. That's about as much of the game as I remember. They kept giving me tall boys.
No, they shut down the beer. They said they were going to sell beer.
So we had to get our look.
Yeah.
I'm like double fisting tall boys.
Yeah.
Gotta get it in while you can, man.
You gotta get it. They were kind of like dominating that second half for like the first 8 minutes ish.
I can't remember any like great chances.
They didn't have any
though.
great chances, but they had continuous like possession, and I think a couple or like 3 corners
throughout the whole game. Let's look up how many saves Berkey had, but they were all pretty easy. Like, I don't remember seeing Berkey ever like really worried about any ball coming his way.
They're like those
That's
Kepler
kind of
saves.
the tale of our defense. It's like we don't give up many good chances, but when we do, they're like really good. So we usually get scored on.
Berkey had 4 saves.
Yeah,
and
they were all rollers. I feel like
they
were. Like, he could pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to like push any away from goal or anything like that.
Yeah. But in the 53rd minute, they had a corner, or I think we ended up getting a goal kick, and then Nelson ends up with the ball on the touchline on that left-hand side of Berkey, and he plays like a floated ball over their midfield into Alm, who's like drifted inside, and Alm just has like the deftest of touches with his right foot. Yeah. To play in Gio, who's like running off the back of him. And that was like the best like combo goal I think I've seen. And I don't know if Klaus buries that either. I think Gio is the guy on our team that we will be able to depend on, like burying the chances that we want to see him bury.
It took some nerves. I was like, as I watched that goal, he has a defender on his left. He's got a defender on his heels. The goalkeeper is coming out, and he just didn't look
not
panicked
rattled
at all. He wasn't rattled. He was just cool, collected, and he put it away. It was good to see.
The future's bright.
How do you guys feel about his celebration? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking.
Ew. What did
Let's
Riley?
go.
What did Riley?
I swear they watched the pod because like I swear to God.
I think he already hit the celly once because Riley, like a few episodes ago after he scored, was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I do that?" Or something like that.
That was Klaus.
Klaus did it.
Klaus?
So that's what Gio.
Oh,
Gio
okay.
probably did
No,
the same
but
thing.
I swear they watched pod because last episode, I'm telling you, Jonah's like, we need Alm back. We need Stroud back. I'm like, we need the 4-4-2 back.
I think Carnell and Jonah are just tapped in.
Yeah, man.
They just both know. They both know ball.
And dude.
I wouldn't have been surprised with either formation today, but I'm glad that we got the 4-4-2 because I think it gets Gio in the lineup. But I think the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-4-2 would have resulted in a win today.
I think that Carnell hardcore doesn't want to play Gio in any other role than
Striker.
as a striker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because
Which is weird
we
to
never
me.
see him. I haven't seen him in the 4-2-3-1
as the
except
cam.
as the cam, like in a starting position. But I think they might have did that in Real, like they dropped him in.
Mm-hmm.
That could have happened, but we don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, we just based that off of what we were watching,
off what we saw.
Yeah,
I don't know. it's good to have him in the lineup, and I think he needs to. I think that Carnell understands how valuable he is to the team because it's like his fitness was low the first game, so he came on as a sub, and then since then we've seen him start. I think every game. So
he also has the most nutmegs on the team.
Yeah. So in reality, he's probably the best player, just because of that,
and with sheer potential too. I mean, he's like what 23.
Yeah, he's a young boy.
Let me get the stat on that.
All I know is that like everybody but Tim Parker on our starting 11, and wait, who else? Well, anyway,
Berkey's old.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who else was old, but everybody else is in like their low to mid 20s, which is a great thing to have.
He's 22.
He's 22,
Damn.
dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like this team is still learning how to play together, and we're thrashing the best team in the league, 5-1 at home.
That's why I think. Well,
we're the best team.
We'll
in the
see where
league.
Cincinnati ends up at
go.
the end of the league because they were not good last year. I'm pretty sure Cincinnati was like.
Yeah.
It was such a fluke that they were unbeaten. Like their ties were.
It
like
wasn't a
1-1.
fluke.
They
were
just had a
winning
play style.
1-0 games. It's just like that's not gonna pan out against firepower. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If there's firepower you're coming up against.
I think you see like how the statistics showed that like they had like 1.52 xG to our 1.48 or something like that. Like we were.
He hates XG.
I know we hate xG. I'm like
I hate XG for the full game because it
but
doesn't
per
give
chance,
you,
yeah,
it doesn't
I
give you
understand.
like the perspective you actually want. Like it's somebody who's not like a full-on soccer fan and they see these stats at the end of the game, they're like, oh, well, why did St. Louis win?
Yeah.
It's per chance. That's what you really got to break it down to.
If I see statistics in the street, I'm beating its ass.
there you go.
I hate statistics.
I see full game XG, I'm throwing it out the window. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
Because they got it. Well, we'll get to that
Yeah.
goal.
So in like 4 minutes later, you see it worked down the left side and then whipped in by I believe Alm.
No,
Yeah.
It bounces out. I don't know how it got down there, but it bounces back out to like the top of the key, and Alm is just standing there, poised and ready to go.
He like stops it.
He had
and just-
time. He
yeah.
like cooked it up. He's like, all right, and then he, with his right foot across his body, ripped a rope. Just a
dude.
rope of a
It was
shot
a laser.
into the post, and it bounces off, hits the keeper. That man had a terrible
Those
day.
are my favorite kind of goals. It's just so disrespectful.
Just getting on his head.
Yeah.
It also sucks though, because it's not technically on target, and it goes down as an own goal. When
Yeah,
like
he
that's
deserves
such a
Still
good
a
hit.
confidence
Yeah.
booster.
Right.
Oh, for sure, he's happy about I think.
think
Does he get an assist for that technically? Because he's like the last person
I
to
don't
touch
think
it.
I don't
so.
think
Okay.
Maybe in fan tracks, but not in
Okay,
in
gotcha.
the real league.
I think him and Stroud it's that Jordan meme, man. They're like, and I took that personally when they weren't getting those starts, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And they came back out and absolutely balled in way like almost balling in a way I don't think many of our players have been balling.
I've
like
never
that.
seen
He's
him-
starting to feel himself. He's
Which
starting
is-
to get in form.
It's like wow.
I didn't think that he I wasn't familiar with his game. Like he. I've never
That's what
seen
I'm
him.
saying.
I've never seen him look as technically skilled as he looked in this game. Like with the vision for the outside of the foot pass to Gio, as well as just like the wing play that he had during the game and the connection that he had with Gio
Yep.
was like something we had. I don't think we've seen. Like I don't think we'll ever see it between Klaus and Stroud because I don't think those players are like technically as gifted as the whole right side.
I think Klaus is technically gifted.
I think he's very technically
Yeah.
gifted.
Yeah, but I don't think Stroud is like
Yeah,
that.
no.
Well, I think it's an early season because I was writing off Rasmus Alm a little bit.
Me too.
But I'm happy to see this like competition. It's healthy competition.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna take that spot. I like what Rasmus Alm is doing, man.
Me too.
I don't think you can take him out of the line. You got to start him next game,
Before
right?
last night, I was like, "What's this dude doing?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But last night, he was
convincing.
balling, and so, dude, Leuven always balling, and last night he was different gravy.
Yeah.
Honestly,
He was.
a goal and an assist. Come on now,
He didn't have
Oh, no.
an assist. Stroud had a goal and an assist.
that's who it was.
Yeah.
But no, Leuven was just everywhere. That's just
He had his best game of the season.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
the team.
He was finally, like you said earlier, it was like everybody's calibrating, and they're finally getting these shots off. They're not going over the bar. He wasn't blasting the ball at people, which was great. He was doing that dead ball.
Putting it on target.
He
That's
was
what I
looking
like to
really
see.
good from dead ball. That's like we had like 3 free kicks from that right-hand side in the first half that all resulted in like something dangerous happening. Like, and that's good to see because he's playing the ball into a dangerous area and then we're making something happen off of it.
I got to dig into the stats a little bit more, but based on vibes, I think that Leuven gets like a home field advantage power up.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like he plays better at home.
That's
I don't,
true.
I don't know what makes me say that besides I guess he has both of his goals here, but
Yeah, I think you just see him.
he feels confident.
I feel
I
like
think
maybe
we've always seen the team play better at home than we have seen them
Mhm.
play away. Like when we see them play away, as weird as it is that we've come out and been so poor in the second half in a lot of these games recently, we've been like a comeback team away from home for like almost all of the season until those last 2 games. And it's just good to see them go out and start winning and just not take the foot off the gas.
We need to delay every home game now.
Yeah, for 2 hours.
Just
Go pour water on the
give
field.
the boys time to vibe in the locker room and give the fans time to get the gasoline pumping in their veins.
They're just down there listening to Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill for 2 hours.
I watched the post game thing and they were saying that they were just in there having a good time, like they were having
Keeping
a
it
little
loose.
party, yeah, just being friends, which
Little
is
Jamie
awesome
Vardy?
to hear because like it's a new team, so being able to hear that there's chemistry in the locker room as well as out on the field. I mean, the locker room chem is what turns into the field chem.
I'm always interested to see what the coach's approach is in a situation like that. Like, I don't know what Cincy did, but they did not come out ready.
I'm telling you,
Like, they might have
had to
been, like-
think it was gonna get canceled.
They were
Right.
just chilling. Like, maybe, I don't know what they were doing.
They're
They-
probably like fearing for their lives.
Or what if they're like doing a
Also
last
possible.
minute cram? You know how like when you're studying for a test and
Yeah.
you're just like
You end
cramming
up
like
screwing yourself over.
yeah, and they're overthinking it. Meanwhile, Carnell and the boys are just like
Having a good time.
like Jake in there.
yeah.
Yeah. But after that 5th one went in, man, it's done. Like it's
I thought
it's
it was
over.
done after the 3rd one. If I'm being honest,
You're right, but
They
like-
felt so demoralized going into half. I was
Yeah.
like,
I
no
thought
way.
it
4 minutes. After the first one.
It was so funny when they got that consolation goal and the dude grabbed the ball like he was about to start some sort of
Right.
comeback. It's like, bro,
Yeah. Before
That's
we
why,
get
Sit
that's why
down.
XG is kind of BS. We haven't gotten there yet.
yeah.
Sorry.
So like in the 61st
got
minute,
me-
we
we
saw
make some subs.
yeah,
don't
we saw that whole left-hand side, Jensen and Samuel Pedro come on for Nelson and no, Stroud comes off later.
Alm on the left side.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Did they
Mhm.
take off Alm for Jensen?
They took off Alm for Jensen
Yeah.
and shifted Stroud over to the right.
well, that's just they just switch so much. Like everybody's so fluid on the field because I mean,
Yeah,
Stroud was
it's-
on the right, but he scored his goal from the left.
Yeah.
And
Well, Stroud started the game on the left.
okay,
And
it's all
proceeded
starting
to-
to make sense.
Proceeded
folks.
to move over to the right when Jensen came on, and
Can you
and,
tell I was drunk as hell?
and Jensen
Piecing it together. We're
Yeah.
piecing it back. Oh,
I need
put
to
the
start
night
watching
together.
the pod.
Yeah. The problem is that Jensen instantaneously walks on the field, gets the ball given to him, tries to make a run down the left-hand side, and just like loses it under his feet.
he
they
looked
get
like
it.
He didn't know what he wanted to do with it. He was trying to cut in and like take a shot, but he just didn't. He didn't have an idea.
Dude, it's just like you need to like come into the game a little more
Yeah.
before you're trying to make skill runs. I understand that's like your forte as a player and what you would like to do, but you need to maybe just pass the ball
Settle
and
in, yeah,
warm
get a
up a
few
little.
touches,
Yeah,
yeah.
get a few touches on the ball. But
Yeah.
anyways, he gives it away and instant counterattack. They play it down our right-hand side and you see Santos get a freebie at the back post. And that's the chance that you were talking about where you'll see the expected goal statistic like skew super hard because of these really, really high scoring like high percentage chances. So like that goal, he is 2 feet from the goal line.
It's a .97 xG, and
Which-
then their expected goals for the whole game was 1.51. And
So
I'm
it's
like,
over like 60% of their entire XG is one goal.
one chance,
Right.
which ended up being a goal. And the dude, I thought he almost missed it. If I'm being honest, I was standing there and it looked like he got a little nervous. You know, when
With-
it's like too open,
Yeah,
you get a little nervous.
It's a pre-shot and
Nick,
a
you know
post.
about that one?
Can't relate.
Yeah, you don't get nervous in front of the goal.
I'm burying it, blood.
Yeah, but that's where Mickey was talking about Santos like ripping the ball out of the net and running back to the halfway line like they were.
What are you gonna? You down
Honestly,
5? You
doing
down
something
4?
like that, you're just gonna end up getting the crowd amped up. You're
Yeah.
gonna,
right.
He's doing it for appearances. He's like,
Yeah,
look at me.
he's like, I
coach."
still care.
Yeah.
yeah. Like
Which I mean,
do
Okay.
you, dog? Don't nobody else care.
he's a pro. Like,
the game was basically done at this point, and we just had to see it out. But we saw a few more subs come on. We saw Ostrak and Akil Watts come on for Gio and Vasilev. And I can't say anything really about Akil Watts. I didn't see him touch the ball more than like once or twice.
Ostrak made a few runs, but also you can't really say a whole lot.
Yeah, and then
I was impressed by Pedro. I think we should someday give Pedro a start.
I think
like
so too.
Pedro. I think of all
Because-
the subs, he was the best.
He was because so those subs get made, and then Jared Stroud in like the 82nd minute proceeds to go get his participatory yellow card for showing up to the game.
It's every game,
Dude,
bro.
he is a shit
It's in his
disturber.
contract.
Yeah.
He gets a boost. He gets a
Yeah,
little bit of extra
he's
money
like,
for
"Coach,
every yellow card he gets.
I've been running all game.
Yeah.
He's like, why
He's
won't
like,
you take
I
me
need to
out?"
come off.
Yeah.
So he goes and gets his yellow. Instantly gets replaced by Celio.
Who looked
and then
great.
Celio?
Yes.
I mean, he touched the
didn't
ball a
touch
few
the ball
times.
the whole
Dude,
time.
He gave-
the problem is he should have had a goal.
He
Yeah.
should have had an assist too. He gave a ball into Klaus, and Klaus missed it. Klaus is be missing.
Well, we
There
saw
was
came on,
the best chance.
Cilio came on in the 82nd minute and finished the game with the most dribbles completed, which
Oh.
was 2.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's crazy.
So
I'm not that
shout out
surprised by
Celio.
that.
I guess nobody was dribbling this game.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean,
passing
It was
game.
good link up this
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
yeah.
The best chance it was 85th minute. Pedro plays this like beautifully curled ball from the back,
Mhm.
like beats the defender, and Klaus is like meets
Making
that,
the diagonal
making
run.
that diagonal run, and that's the chance that
Celio should have scored because Klaus is just being selfish.
He
We're
got
up 5-1,
selfish.
dude.
Yeah.
And if
He's
he
a
squares
striker,
that
bro.
ball, I don't care, bro.
I
egoist.
I get it. Klaus.
Egoist didn't score.
He needed his. Everybody else had a goal. He didn't have one.
Because once he
Yeah,
gets
Celio could have got one.
he could get
It's
one
true,
more
but
goal.
it would have
and
been sweaty, and we were up by 4.
I don't care.
No, I want Klaus to take that chance.
I don't.
I'm sorry. I want Klaus to bury a goal so that I mean sometimes when you're a striker and you're not hitting the target, you get that one sloppy goal, that little sweaty goal,
Gets
and
you
it
back.
opens the gates.
I'm with you.
Just
Yeah,
like-
he needed one.
I
Back.
understand a goal for confidence, but Klaus is not known for scoring that opportunity. When has he scored that angle, like from that position?
When has a striker ever passed the ball? When has when has a
What do you
striker
mean?
ever gotten confidence from an assist? He's not. I want that man to have confidence. Go get you a goal, bro. I know.
I will say though, if he sweats
If
that
he-
goal to Celio, that's like a 0.8 XG
Yeah.
right
Mhm.
there chance. Mickey's like, get rid of your XG.
And for next game,
About to start shooting.
if Klaus is in like that and you see Gio making that back post run and Klaus hits it straight at the goalie, I'll come for you because you said you want to see him take it.
What is happening right now?
No, like just
I'm
in
saying
the future.
sweat your goals if
Yeah,
you got it.
in
If
the
you got
future.
it, sweat it out.
Oh no, I'm staying as far away from 6-goal games as I can. I already said that.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
Is
want-
that a
Let's not
bad
worry
demon
about
for
that.
you?
Yes,
Yeah.
5-goal games are cool. 6-goal games are bad.
Oh my gosh. If you guys had to point to one aspect of this game that gave us the win or that just turned it around, you know what I mean? Like we've been having a bad run of form here.
Yeah.
What would you say has turned this team around here in this win?
I think we just went out there and had fun. Honestly, the 2 games before this, it looked like we were in our own heads. Like we need to, like against Seattle's, like we need to change our formation so that we can get the jump on their formation and make them think that we know what they're doing. And it was just like way too mind gamey. In this one, we just came out and balled. It looked like a pickup game. It looked like they were just enjoying a little footy with the boys. You know what I mean?
It was good vibes.
Yeah.
I would say the main, and Carnell touched on it. He touched on what you just said. He was like, we weren't focused. We're not focused on the opposition this game. We're focused on ourselves and what makes us good. And I think if I had to point at one component that changed, they just went back to their press.
Yeah.
They were back in their style. They had Stroud out there. They had Alm out there, and they knew what they were going to do. They were going to get a dirty goal. They were they were gonna press, get the ball back. The best example of that was in the 9th minute on that. We talked about the chance with that Stroud missed.
Yeah,
But
where
they
Alm
had,
got it.
It was Leuven wins the ball in the midfield, kicks it out to Jake Nowitzki, quick switch ball out to Alm sprinting, Stroud sprinting. That chance happened from like our final third
to their goal box.
To the actual chance in 12 seconds.
That's wild.
Like throughout the whole field. And I feel like that is when we're at our best, is when it's like a press and counterattack team that just makes it dangerous. So
German ball.
I think that the width is, and that goes in with the press, obviously, because when we get too compact with the like 3 midfield, where we go the 4-2-3-1 or that 5-3-2 that we saw, I just think that the width is so important in attack to see more quality opportunities had. Like, you saw Stroud be so impactful, not only with his goal, but also with his assist, where he's out on the wing and he crosses in a beautiful ball to Hebert. I guess with saying that Stroud had such a good game, what would you guys say was like your MVP? I know you mentioned Alm earlier.
Definitely Stroud for me. I thought he was the best man. I thought he was the man of the match because he just embodied that press style, and he also had like the flashy stats you like to see, a goal and assist on the score sheet. So yeah, I think he was amazing.
I think Leuven always has a little under the radar game. You know, that was a really good game. He didn't get he got a goal.
He was an engine.
Yeah.
That's
we
what
got
compare
back
him
to our basics. Like those couple games, I feel like we lost our identity.
We were too focused on the other team.
Yeah,
we were focused on
having your identity is like super important to winning games.
Yeah, I'd say Alm just because I wasn't familiar with his game. I had never seen him do the things that he did in this game, and I'm excited to see him do more. So,
he had a breakout.
I hope he starts next game.
I hope we do the 4-4-2.
Yeah, speaking of next game,
changes that.
No, I don't think it should.
But if you were ever gonna do an experimental game,
Pedro,
I've been saying Pedro forever, and I
think we could see that just because next week we're going to Denver, Colorado.
And I would say worst team in the league, but
Second.
They're not the worst.
Kansas City, where you at, boys?
Yeah.
They
lost to Colorado last week, and this week, last night, with the Apple TV subscription being messed up, you could watch the free games, and I watched them get scored on in 4 minutes against San Jose. It was really bad. So
oh man,
we have more goals last game than
they have their entire season. Yeah. So enough said.
Joke club.
You guys got any score predictions for that next game?
I think we run it up.
I think we're
run it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But every time, yeah.
Just give me some numbers here.
I'm saying 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really wish we could have got that clean sheet last night.
I do too, and it was such a sweaty Cincinnati goal. You watch all of Cincinnati's goals; they're just those quick counterattacks, and they put it on display for that one.
Yep.
So score prediction.
Pick one. You've been picking Mickey's 3 every episode, so we just got to see one.
I'm picking 1.
Okay.
3-0.
3-0. All right. Well, I was gonna go 2-0, so I'll go with that. We're all seeing a clean sheet and a pretty big win. I just want to see something comfortable. Let's not look like play down to our competition.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't sleep on them. I know we're already kind of setting a tone here by being they suck, but
they're not good. It's
well, we need to come flying out the gates.
They have
talk about
danger,
but game that Klaus can get his scoring confidence back.
Yeah, he needs to. He needs to try and bully the back line of a worse team.
I'm calling it now. Yao Klaus first hat trick of the season.
Wow.
Please.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet.
I've been watching too much Blue Lock, man.
Seeing the egoist.
That striker take I had earlier in this episode, that was very Blue Lock.
Yeah. That was, yeah, because in every situation ever, I want to see that striker square the ball. I understand the confidence of a striker is important, but if we're down or we're tied and I see my striker hit that ball right at the goalie, I am losing it.
You wouldn't get it.
Oh, I wouldn't get it? That's because I'd win.
Not a striker.
That's because I'd win.
Because Ian's a midfielder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't get it, folks.
You guys have anything else?
No, I think I'm all good. Great win.
It's so good to be a winner
happy again.
Yeah, I know. My past 2 weeks have been down.
I said it last night. We've got 2 different podcasts we do. Depression and aggression. It's because we either lose and we're like, God, we kind of suck, man. or we've got... We're the best in the league, and we're just losing it.
We're coming for you. We're coming for the whole MLS. We're coming for the supporter shield.
Look, until LA plays today, supporter shield. It's ours.
What do you value more, a supporter shield
Oh,
or
yeah,
an
this is
MLS Cup? We were debating this before the pod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking supporter shield because I think it's more impressive to do it throughout the whole season, and it just takes more consistency and like.
That's not how the league views it, though. I feel like
It's not.
It's not how America views it, but like the rest of the world, they have a league, right? You win the Premier League. You don't win the Premier League playoffs,
Right.
If we're getting down to the brass tacks,
Although
and I'm using my American brain here,
Yeah.
I'm taking a cup over a shield any day.
I think that I take the cup as the more difficult thing to do, just because you can't have an off day. Like they're very. I don't think we'll see an MLS team go like undefeated in the league for the next like 10 years. So
has that ever happened?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that
variable.
Right. I think it's a little too like all over the place for
Yeah.
that to happen right now.
I'm
but-
purely speaking on object form.
I think it's harder to win the shield, the supporter shield, because you got to show up each week. With the cup, it could be like a any given Sunday type vibe where it's like,
but I think
Cincinnati sneaks into the playoffs, or who else, and then they make a run all the way to the final. You know?
No, and you do see that. Like when we were talking about the pregame of Minnesota, we saw Minnesota make a run.
Right.
But I think it's more impressive for like it depends on the team that's winning it, I think, because if you are a team that is really consistently good in the league and you're like second place or first place, and you can go out there and be that team every given Sunday and not have any slip-ups, because in the league, if you are that consistent and great, you can have slip-ups. Like you can have a draw or you can have a bad loss and like just bounce back from it and still maintain your position. Whereas you're just done. You're
in
out.
the playoff. Yeah,
if you
high
lose.
Stakes.
So
Plus, in the playoffs, it's like multiple game ties straight into even the final is a multiple game tie, isn't it?
no, the final's just a final, I
One
believe.
game.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm with Ian because I was thinking about it and I'm like, if you watch hockey, nobody cares if you have the highest points in the league.
Yeah, the President's Trophy like never wins the
It's the Stanley Cup that you won.
the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
But I think they're also different sports. Like I would value a
Hockey
supporter
way
shield.
more random. You know what I mean? Like with soccer, it's like
It's luck based. Yeah.
it's not as luck based
No.
in soccer. Yeah.
You see, well, you have like more players playing all of the minutes. That's why hockey is so.
Yeah. Very.
But I
Random.
think that's why the NHL is so electric. I mean,
I think hockey's just an electric sport to watch, but we don't have to
We're
get
not
into
a hockey
hockey.
pod,
We're not a
but-
hockey pod.
Yeah.
What we are is a soccer pod. And if you want to see the pregame show for us versus the Colorado Rapids, make sure you tune in on Wednesday, because that's when you will be able to see that.
Thanks for tapping in, y'all. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.